Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 replay cast. I feel like it's been too long, as, I mean, it really hasn't been that long, but lately on my channel, of course, I've been uploading VODs of things like IEM, Africa World, show matches and stuff, and so, you know, seeing as how I put out a video every day, just not actually doing a cast just for YouTube, it's a little bit odd. Anyway, enough of that, that's not important. Spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map, it's Root SuperNova. You may know him as the Terran streamer, or a Terran streamer, but he's been keeping at it a long time at this point. And then his opponent spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's Leenock. So gonna be a very tough opponent for SuperNova, there's no doubt about that. Leenock is an absolute monster when it comes to just grinding games, playing hard. Like you tune into a stream of a high-level streamer, and chances are you may see him play Leenock because he just plays hard, and he always looks so good on ladder. But no SuperNova, he of course is a very good Terran, but he's not actively a pro gamer, whereas Leenock is, so this is a bit of a challenge for him. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this will work out. SuperNova most likely going to be playing some variant of Mech, whereas Leenock, on the other hand, I mean, he's a Zerg. He seems to like playing a bit of the classic Lingbane Muta style lately. I've seen some games of those from him, but you never know till you know. As far as this game goes, the map is on Port Alexander. I figure I should have mentioned that. I've already mentioned the players. I didn't really mention it was the TvZ. So getting back into the swing of things, but everything is pretty darn standard in this game. Leenock just having his overlords move out and scout. Port Alexander, not really a proxy to Rax map, so not overly checking for anything like that. SuperNova's Reaper is out on the map. He's making the one get out of here Overlord Marine. He's just this one Marine who really hates Overlords that pops out at the start of the game. And make sure they don't get up to anything too bad. SuperNova's Reaper's moving on in here though. We'll see if he's able to get anything done or not. For now, just hanging out. It's very tough to micro the Reaper and just not lose it, because if you lose it, you can be in a fair bit of trouble. So some Terrans just are like, yeah, whatever. I kill a Ling, I don't kill a Ling. It's not that big of a deal. Killing a drone is a pretty rare thing these days. Metabolic boost, aka Ling speed, on the way for Leenock. That command center for SuperNova finishes up, and there's that tech lab going onto that barracks. Hellions are pretty much a must in the current meta. There's not many Terrans you'll find who will completely skip Hellions. Just that map control is real nice. Oh, okay. SuperNova's going to be going for the Ghost Rush. That sort of Hellbat Ghost attack, most likely. Very interesting rush. If you guys have listened to me cast a few other times, I kind of have a bone to pick with this build. Like, it just loses so much compared to the amount of times it wins. Like, you'll see someone do it in a tournament, and it's like, oh, the Terran absolutely destroyed that Zerg, but you know, if the Terran just did like a 3cc opening or played a little bit normally, I mean, it's basically all about style points is what this build is for. Hellion and Reaper, come on in. Poke a bit. Don't get a creep tumor or anything. Bruises a queen. And now, so SuperNova's going for this Ghost Rush of a build. Leenock's Overlord is going to be diving on in here, so we'll see if he identifies that this is coming. Oh god, sounds like Leenock's actually using the Diva announcer pack. Armory on the way, Concussive Shell on the way. SuperNova looks like he's probably going to be trying to fake this out. Doesn't actually have a Marauder queued up behind this, but this Overlord, I think, is actually going to see this Ghost, so Leenock is fully aware of what's coming as long as he checked what popped out of that barracks. There's, of course, a chance that he didn't, but with a good player like Leenock, you can generally assume that he probably saw that Ghost popping out. So SuperNova's got to go loud and proud right now, moving towards Leenock's side of the map. It's not that far of a rush distance towards the Zerg third, but trying to break it is a different thing. And Leenock definitely knows about this. A ton of Lings on the way. One of the Hellions is already bruised up for SuperNova. They're going to start poking up. Queens getting sniped down. SuperNova, keep in mind when doing this build, he makes sure to bruise the Queens before that he snipes them down. And there's this very specific reason for that. It's because if a Queen just gets sniped, it will not die. It will have 5 HP, and then it can be transfused. But if it's already hurt a little bit, and then the snipe goes down, the Queen's just gonna die. Now SuperNova's just got a few Hellbats here. There's a few Queens and Slings, so it looks like that this build is gonna be getting shut down real hard here. I mean, SuperNova traded out with a few Queens, but guys, this is why I don't like seeing this build. My bone to pick with this build is rightfully just. Now, these Hellbats, they are fighting back, trying to basically babysit this Ghost, as they can't really defend themselves, but Hellbats certainly can. And behind this SuperNova, I mean, I like this. Just go for the greed. Double CC on the way, so going from two orbital commands to a potential 4 bases. I mean, Leenock, he had to invest a bit into that defense, but he held it pretty comfortably. He's making a lot more Lings, though. Getting up centrifugal hooks, as he must have a lair done. And now the question is, what else is he going to go for? He's got a macro hatchery on the way, but SuperNova's got 4 bases on the way now, and he's transitioning into Mech, but a lot of Lings could potentially be knocking on his front door. However, with 2 tanks set up, he shouldn't be in much trouble. Maybe Leenock was thinking of like a Baneling bust or something, because he made a lot of Lings or just safety, but for SuperNova, it's actually pretty good. The fact that Leenock's got all these Lings running around, running all over the place, by the way. They're just queued to go everywhere. But that's actually pretty darn good for SuperNova, the fact that Leenock committed to that many Lings. It's a little bit overkill, and so he's not as far ahead on the economy as he could have been. I mean, some of those Lings could have maybe been like a 4th base, but that's just starting up now instead of maybe like a minute earlier or just a bit earlier. And SuperNova, though, he's already on 4 command centers. He's got 1 that's transformed into an orbital command, and the Madman, he's actually doing it. He's flying this one over to his 3rd location, while he's also going to be securing a 4th. Leenock's Ling is probably going to see this, and he's going to say, wait a second, what do you think you're doing? How dare you take a double expansion as a Terran versus me? But SuperNova playing this Mech style, going to be having to defend hard, but we'll see if he can make it happen. Leenock, I doubt he's going to want to let SuperNova get away with this, but with a planetary on the way, and then with tanks set up at the 3rd, SuperNova could be able to shut this down, but this is a lot of Lings moving across the map for Leenock. Leenock says, no, 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 this is not getting up. Hellions are going to get surrounded. They can't transform into Hellbats, so they're going to be pretty darn toast. There's more Hellions on the way, but I think SuperNova has to cancel this orbital commit, or this planetary, pardon me. A few of the Hellbats do morph, so Leenock does prevent that base from being taken, as Zerg does not want a Terran to be on par with bases as them. Leenock's got 11 Mutalisks on the way. He's getting +1 up. SuperNova, however, has got Cyclones on the way. Okay, guys, and I got a confession to make. I'm a Terran player. I don't make Cyclones really ever. I'm Googling it. I'm doing it. Does Mag Field Accelerator increase the anti-air damage? And 400... Okay, yeah, it does actually increase it versus flying. Okay, I wasn't sure if it did, but now we know. The mystery has been solved. Just goes to show how often I make Cyclones. Now, the Mutas for Leenock are crossing the map here. Cyclone's going to be locking on top of these Mutas, and I mean, with this Mag Field Accelerator upgrade, they are not bad. The main thing is that they just chase down the Mutas, which are trying to escape, and all it takes is 1 lock-on, and that's a dead Mutalisk. There's a few more lock-ons going down. Leenock's trying to save his Mutalisk right now, but a lot of them have already died. The Cyclones are retreating. Tanks firing away. These Lings just dove right on in here in order to try and pick off these Cyclones, which are duking and diving. And will stay alive. That 4th base for SuperNova just about to get up. I mean, it is rather weak, and that's a bit concerning, it not being repaired, but these Cyclones, they should be able to send these Mutalisks back, and as a result right now, we've got Leenock committing into more Mutalisks, but I mean, he already lost 7. That's how good Cyclones are at actually killing something. Like, anything they lock onto, it's usually either the Cyclone dies or the unit dies. Now, SuperNova, a lot of turrets up on the way. I'd like to see him repair that planetary, and he's doing just that. Now he can actually start mining off it, that he's got it really secure. Leenock Potentially going to keep bullying SuperNova. We'll see. He does have a bunker up, got some tanks up. There's some Banelings morphing, though. There's a big chunk of mutas. We'll see if Leenock's going to be able to break SuperNova. That's sometimes what players will try and do. And look at this. The mutas come on in. They're going to start picking off these 2 tanks. And with those tanks gone, these Lings are going to come on in here with free reign. However, there is Hellions out, so these Lings will be shut down. Cyclone's locking onto some of the mutas. So Leenock, it's going to cost him going for that engagement. Now these Banelings are getting locked onto. They're not getting too much done. Liberator's setting up as well, so SuperNova not taking too much damage to that attack, and Leenock ineffectively trying to throw himself against SuperNova right now. A few roaches on the way, Banelings, Lings, a hive. This is a Zerg who's not exactly sure what he should be doing. Like, I mean, Mech has a lot of different compositions, and until you really see your opponent's final form, in a sense, it's tough to know exactly what you want to make. That's why sometimes Zerg will really sit back and be reactionary. SuperNova's got to run the SCVs. Leenock just continuing on with these little bits of aggression, but as far as what he's making, he's getting adrenal glands, he's committing to these Lings, plus extra flyer upgrades and everything, getting all the upgrades. Yeah, this is Leenock. I think he just wants to have all the options at his disposal here. He's got a 5 base economy, 86 drones, but SuperNova, he's a Terran on 86 SCVs. That is TY level of SCVs. TY, the Terran player, known for making an absolute ton of SCVs. And now we'll see. SuperNova, I mean, Leenock's going to keep hammering at him, so having a few extra SCVs, not the worst thing in the world. And these Banelings are coming on in. There's no wall up preventing them from getting on in. Is SuperNova going to react? The Banelings actually roll right into the missile turret, actually crashing into 2 missile turrets. Just being like, all right, what can I kill? What can I kill? And 2 unfortunate missile turrets. SuperNova setting up more turrets and whatnot. The mutas are going to come on in here, look for a Liberator, but of course those Cyclones going to lock on, and that's pretty much 2 dead Mutalisks, most likely. Yes, no, maybe so. Cyclones are going to lock on. These mutas are very, very bruised for Leenock, and there's Liberators out, which, I mean, they're definitely not as good as they used to be. They're still decent anti-air. These mutas are actually so weak. Are they going to be able to get on out? It looks like they will. A few of them live to tell the tale, but Leenock has bled off 19 mutas this game. Resources lost, definitely in the lead for SuperNova. Leenock, though, he's committing into a lot more Banelings. He's got up Ravagers and an absolute ton of Lings. It looks like he may just be planning on, like, trying to kill SuperNova. This is a very aggressive style for dealing with Mech. SuperNova, he's moving out on the map, though. Doesn't want to get surrounded. He's off creep. He's got lots of Hellions, which are going to absolutely shred the Lings, but Banelings and more Lings getting a wraparound. Leenock coming from the north. Does SuperNova escape? Lots of Banelings actually run by SuperNova's army, not connecting there. Absolutely critical for him that those did not go off. They could have probably killed a lot of that Terran army. That's a fairly big mistake by Leenock. Now SuperNova trying to secure a 5th base, but these infestors could be causing him a world of grief. His army, it could be getting entirely fungal. However, they actually walk forward into a missile turret and are all picked off. That is absolutely massive for SuperNova. Now Leenock, he's just got to really go forward. He's not going to be able to trap this army, so this army will be able to do its kiting and retreating. However, this is a ton of Banelings here for Leenock. Some of them just rolling around, others chasing after the army, but in the end, SuperNova looks like he's taking the better fight here. With this Cyclone Hellion composition, going to be able to pursue this army as well, locking onto a Ravager. Just wanting to secure this 5th base, and Leenock has thrown away a lot of resources worth of units just as SuperNova trying to attack him. Hellbat's getting set up, ready to absorb some Banelings. The command center is forced to lift off, but SuperNova should eventually be able to push this Zerg army back. Leenock is bleeding off a lot, dealing with this Liberator's getting set up. Corrosive Bow's going down, though. Gonna pick off both of them. That's a nice pick off. SuperNova producing more Liberators, getting up a fusion core, probably wanting advanced ballistics. Ship weapons on the way as well, vehicle weapons. And yeah, so SuperNova just continuing on, meching. Leenock's being so aggressive that just producing Hellion Cyclone sitting back isn't usually a good thing, but if the Zerg's attacking into you relentlessly like Leenock's doing, SuperNova may as well play defensive, have that advantage. Leenock looks like he's going to be moving towards the north, maybe going to try and loop around on SuperNova here, pardon me. Liberators getting set up, Banelings roll forward. This is so many Banelings for Leenock, just a big old ball of Banelings. The Infestors sharking about. But Leenock, I mean, he's still just committing to these units. He hit 89 workers, and then he's like, right, now Now we kill. And SuperNova's Hellbat's getting set on up. If they get connections with the Lings, it'll be huge. Oh my god, that is so many Lings being roasted. However, they do all go down. Banelings crashing forward, forcing SuperNova to micro that army. There's still Infestors on the high ground. They're going to lob off a Fungal. Not the best connections. Catches a few Cyclones, though. And these Cyclones, the main thing is they are ineffectively locking onto Lings here. The Lings really do a good job tying up that auto attack from the Cyclones. I mean, he'd rather be locking onto units like Ravagers, onto units like Infestors. And by the way, look at this SuperNova. His army is very, very red. He's down on supply by 50 compared to that of Leenock. So, I mean, Leenock's just continuously been remaxing. I mean, his bank hasn't built up since he has been being so aggressive. And here he comes again. And I think this is without his entire army. But Leenock's going for an engagement. Lots of infested Terrans get thrown up. But they have fantastic anti-air. So the Liberators below him not going to be able to get too much done. Banelings roll forward. SuperNova retreating to the Planetary Fortress. A lot of his units have died. More Banelings rolling forward for Leenock. The Liberators have all fallen. SuperNova's got to be producing non-stop to deal with this. He's got a few Cyclones, though, so in the end, this army will have to retreat to be safe. But, I mean, keep in mind, a while back, Leenock made a Greater Spire. He sort of snuck that out. And now he's making 7 Broodlords, so this could be where SuperNova gets in trouble. He's now making tanks instead of anything else, maybe just because of the heavy ground assault. But he's got to be thinking of how do I deal with Broodlords soon, and SuperNova only... Well, he does have 3 starports. He's got tech labs on him. I think he was maybe planning of making battle cruisers or something, but once these Broodlords get on your front door, that's where it becomes very, very rough for a Terran player with the Infestor support. This is going to be one scary, scary Zerg army. Lots of Broodlords for Leenock. Banelings, there's the first battle cruiser on the way, but I'm not sure he's going to be ready to join the fight in time. There's only 4 Corruptors out, so the anti-air for Leenock is going to be limited, but SuperNova has no idea that this attack is coming just yet. And the Broodlords, I mean, SuperNova's set up really at his center base. He's going to be in trouble, I think. Broodlords starting to work away on this. Cyclones and Hellbats really can just buy time. I mean, the Liberators can shoot the Broodlings, but this Planetary Fortress, make no mistake, is going to be under siege. Hellbats, they're fantastic at killing Broodlings, but SuperNova's going to have to dislodge this army. He's sort of being like, uh-oh, I need Vikings, as he's making Vikings and Cyclones. All right, they can maybe lock onto Broodlords, but Leenock, with all of his Infestors below this, he's just waiting for the right opportunity. Even bringing the Queens, I love it. The Transfuse will be huge. SuperNova making 2 battlecruisers at a time. And Leenock realizing that the only weakness in this puzzle for him is the lack of Corruptors, but he's fixing that. Got another 5 on the way. 9 Corruptors going to be formidable for SuperNova to deal with. Liberators trying to engage this, but the Queens and Infestors making it not really an option for him to deal with that. He lost his center base, so his economy has been hurt. Fortunately for him, he secured this base in the bottom left while this was going on. But this big Zerg army is still lurking, setting sights on his 3rd base, SuperNova. He wasn't really prepared for this. He was making tanks when Leenock was planning a different type of attack. And now we'll see, what can these Vikings and battlecruisers do? Does Leenock have Neural Parasite? He doesn't have that. So, I mean, at least the battlecruisers aren't going to be taken over by Leenock, but, I mean, it's still not a huge amount for SuperNova, literally just 2. Leenock has scouted this. Once the Zerg has the Corruptors and the Broodlords, it's really up to Terran to get an answer, and all these Infestors are going to hinder SuperNova's response to this. It's like a multi-layer thing. It's like a multi-layer dip, and Leenock is the top dip. But, okay, yeah, the Broodlords are the top of the dip. Now, more battlecruisers on the way, but there's so many Infestors here. This is very concerning. The Queen's also here. SuperNova, he's not really mining at his 3rd. The space in the bottom is his complete lifeline. I mean, his supply isn't too bad. He's making Thors to help deal with the Broodlords. There's 9 of them, though, it's a big number. I mean, Thors can deal with Broodlords under the right circumstances. Like, say there's not enough Zerg on the ground, or that the armies are tied up so that the Thors can fire freely at the Broodlords. But a big concern is the +3 attack for these Broodlords, so they're going to put out so much damage. The Thors will be in trouble now. SuperNova's coming forward. He's got his few Thors. The battlecruisers can always Yamato cannon 1 or 2 of the Broodlords, but there's so much fungal going down. Lots of Liberators getting set up, though. No Yamato cannon going down. There it is. Now landing on some of these Broodlords, and The count of Broodlords, has it fallen? Yes, it has. There's only 2 of them left. There's suddenly no Broodlords, but the infested Terran are putting a lot of work onto this. The battle cruisers have fallen. Can SuperNova hold, though? It looks like he can for now. Leenock really sent everything at SuperNova, but SuperNova stays alive. However, his battle cruiser count was reset. He's up on supply for now, but if we look at the bank, it really tells a story. Leenock just with such a better position right now. Hellion's going to intercept these Lings, but they're going to be getting surrounded and going down. SuperNova raises the wall, so he doesn't have to deal with them getting everywhere, but he wants to secure his middle base, but it's bad news bears for the Terran player when there is lots of creep at a base you're trying to secure. Now, Leenock even landing Lings underneath SuperNova's other base. SuperNova's been going for some Liberator harassment, which is quite nice, but more Broodlords on the way. Leenock spending that massive bank, and he's going to be coming in with an even more formidable air army. 9 Broodlords, 13 Corruptors, and 3 Vipers on the way, and the Vipers really punished the Terran's own air fleet, so it's very tough to deal with this. Now, SuperNova, he's just been down on supply this entire game. We'll see if he can push out and maybe make something happen. Sometimes Zerg will overextend. Thors definitely do have the potential to catch a Zerg player who's unprepared, but, I mean, Leenock's had a lot of time to recuperate now. He's making even more Broodlords, going up to 13, as he realizes that the main response for SuperNova at this point is on the ground, so make more Broodlords, they'll beat the Thors. Or most likely will, but we'll see. I think I would like to see Neural Parasite coming out of Leenock. It's really been effective for a lot of Zerg players lately, because, I mean, it just completely takes the Thors out of the fight. He gets down 9 Neural Parasites, then there's literally no Thors firing for SuperNova. Now here comes Leenock once again, going to be pushing in. These tanks are going to be vulnerable. They got to unsiege. It's not like they can shoot these Broodlords down, so SuperNova abandoning the base. We'll see what he's got to do, though. At the end of the day, you got to deal with this army. You got to force it back. And now, yeah, can SuperNova do it? Battle cruiser harassing Leenock's bases. Hellbat's running in. But the main army is still going to be a threat. This one battle cruiser really distracting Leenock here. He's sending pretty much his entire army north. So SuperNova's bought himself a bit of time, but it's not like he's secured extra bases. So we'll see. The mule's keeping him going for now, but eventually when these bases start to mine out, that's when it'll be concerning. However, Leenock, I mean, his own economy is not fantastic. Like the main, the natural, the thirds mining out. There's no gas left at the third. Even the fourth getting pretty barren at this point. And so Leenock, I mean, he does have to keep his own economy going. However, it really will just come down to this one big fight, it looks like. And this is where it's bad for the Terran player. You're backed into a corner. Broodlords are the best unit in the game at pushing. Thors are stepping forward, but I'm not sure there's even enough of a Hellbat buffer to help work through these Broodlings. Abduct's going down. These are 500 resources just being picked off like it's nothing. Leenock going for those valuable targets. Can the Thors handle this? Looks like a lot of them at the back are firing on the Broodlings. Infested Terran being thrown out to the max. Vikings try and pick off 1 or 2 of the Broodlords. There's some Yamato cannon going down. 2 of the Broodlords get popped off. Can the Thors hold on? But it doesn't look like a Leenock gonna be able to knock down SuperNova here. Shut down this mech play. It was an interesting game. These sort of 2 different styles clashing, but at the end, Leenock going with the tried and true. GG gets called. The Zerg player manages to take it. Leenock just with that big bank, that big remax, and SuperNova didn't have a big bank at his disposal, or big enough, really. I mean, look at that. Even a Ravager burrowed at this base to the north. Leenock did a good job preventing SuperNova just from taking all the bases and whatnot, because then he'd have had a lot more to play with. But anyway, guys, I've cast Leenock versus SuperNova a few times on my channel. For this one, though, make sure to leave a like. And also, if you're new to the channel and watch to the very end, feel free to hit subscribe. As I'm trying to break that 1,500 mark, I think I'm like 10 subscribers away from that. So make sure to hit that button, guys. Otherwise, I shall see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.